Hey everybody, my name is Jason Creel. This is the Lawn Care Life. Today I'm going to show you three things. I'm going to show you how to change your string trimmer head. I'm going to show you how to change an edger blade, and I'm going to show you how to quickly change the line on a string trimmer head. I think these are three practical things that you could use if you're working in your lawn. So let's get started right now. Let's start with the string trimmer head. Now this should work for most string trimmers. I'm sure there's exceptions out there. Well, this one, if you can see here, and it may be a little hard to show you on the camera, but right there is actually a hole in the shaft. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take like a nail or skinny screwdriver, whatever you got, and I'm going to put it in that hole, and I've got to spin the head until it catches. So that's what's going to keep it from turning so that you can actually twist it off. Okay, this is not complicated, but I got a skinny screwdriver here. I'm going to place it in that hole. Okay, and then now I found the sweet spot where it's catching. Okay, because if not, it's just spinning. Okay, but if I can get in there where it catches, well, now I can actually turn it. Now the only other complicated part about this is they're reverse threaded. So it's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's the opposite, okay? So I'm gonna turn this to the right to get this head off. Let me show you a display of brute strength. Thought I wasn't gonna be able to get it off for a second, but anyway, it's coming off. Look at here. Now I've got my screwdriver there, holding in place. Boom, it's off. Now you want to leave this little, don't take all your parts off that came with the trimmer, you're just changing the head out. And so to put it on, obviously it's going to be just the opposite. Still want to put your screwdriver through that hole. I'm going to put it on there, and then I'm of course going to go lefty-tighty. Awkward to say because it doesn't sound right, but that's how it works. Get it started and just give it a good spin until it starts tightening up. Same thing when you're putting it on, you got to get your screwdriver in the right place there, nail, to hold it to where you can actually put some pressure on to tighten it. All right, done. There it is. It's on there. All right, what about a stick edger? Now this one is all nasty looking, everything. Probably should clean it up a little. Blade's a little rusted. But most of the time, now this is a Milwaukee kind of one of those attachments that goes on a multi-tool, but usually the nut is a little bit bigger than it is on this one. But anyway, you get you one of these little handy tools or a socket of some sort to fit the nut that's holding on the edger blade. And this is going to be very similar to changing the string trimmer head. So you get that on there, and just like on my string trimmer, this one also has a hole right there. And so I've got to line that hole up, got to put something in there, skinny screwdriver, nail, whatever, and then spin it until I get it to where it's going to hold in place. There should be another hole on the inside cylinder. So once I get it through there on both holes, now it's holding the blade in place where I can actually spin it. Same thing, this one's reverse threaded also. Now let me give you some comfort if you've been frustrated with these things. One time I got so mad trying to get an edger blade off, couldn't get it off, and I got an impact wrench out and was just going at it with an impact wrench. Turned out I had it going righty-tighty and lefty-loosey, and again, it's reverse threaded. So once I changed it the right direction, of course, it came right off. So this one actually shows you on here, off to the right. So that was nice of them. This isn't a very big wrench. Let's see if I can get it off. I got it. Didn't have to just strain myself too bad, but anyway, same idea. You take the bolt off and change your blade out, put it back together, and then of course go the opposite direction to put it back on. We're accomplishing all kinds of things today. The last thing I want to show you how to do is restring your string trimmer, and this is going to be something that I'm going to recommend. When I started a lawn care business years ago, one of the first things I did was get a speed feed head. So you may notice this string trimmer head might look different than the one that came on your string trimmer. I would encourage you to consider one of these. You don't have to, and I will put a video popping up for you if you've got a traditional trimmer that's going to involve you taking the cap off, and you basically need a third arm and trying to hold the line and wrap it and wind it and wrap it and keep it from getting tangled. and hold it and put it through the little notches and get the cap on without it all springing apart and going crazy on you. If you enjoy that, if that's one of your weekend hobbies, I've got a video to show you how to do that as well, and it's popping up now. I personally don't like doing that, and these solve that problem. They are unbelievably great. Okay, now they come in 2 different sizes, and again, I'm not sponsored. This video is not sponsored by these things or anything. I'm gonna put a link in there if you want to check one out, but it's at your own discretion, but they are great. They typically come in 2 different sizes. So this is the larger one, and it'll hold maybe 25 feet of line, something like that. This is the smaller one. I typically use the smaller ones. Now, if you've got a fairly powerful trimmer, then it'll handle the larger one no problem. But you don't want to put the larger head on a smaller trimmer. That won't have enough power and it might bog it down a little bit. So typically I go with the smaller one, but on this particular trimmer I went with the larger one. There's a bunch of like generic versions of these too, so I'll put a link to a bigger one and a smaller one. You choose the one you want if you want to get one. But putting the line on these is super simple. What I do when I'm out there working, I will actually keep some line in my pocket. So I'll cut off, let's say 15 feet of line. I'll have it wrapped up like this, and it's stuck in my pocket. As soon as I run out of line, boom, I shut the trimmer off, pull the string out of my pocket. And then the way these speed feed heads work, you'll see on the front of them, there's an arrow. There's an arrow right here and an arrow right there. What it's telling you to do is line up that arrow, and actually I had these for years before I figured out those arrows. Line that arrow up with the hole, okay? And when you line up the arrow with a hole, now you can look through the hole right there and see all the way to the other side. If the arrows are not lined up, you're not gonna be able to see all the way to the other side. So I've got the arrows lined up. I can look through there and I can see daylight on the other side, which means the string is gonna go through there. Now, if you got an old nasty curled up used piece of string that's all twisted, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. So just cut your string off, go ahead and feed it through there. Let's see if I can do it. Look at there, there it comes on the other side. Now at this point, what you want to do is grab both ends of the line. I typically set my trimmer on the ground, and I'm going to pull it equal lengths. Let me slide the camera back where I can demonstrate. So my goal there is just to pull the line equal lengths on coming out of both sides of the trimmer. If it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world, you can obviously even it up with some scissors or a knife or something when you're done. But now that I've got it equal lengths on both sides, this comes the very easy part about it. You simply twist the cap clockwise. Let me show you. There you have it. Twist it clockwise, and what happens is if your line gets a little too long while you're out working, then you can just stop what you're doing and give it a twist or two, and it pulls it back tighter, okay? Of course, to make it longer, you just tap it on the ground like you would most any string trimmer. So anyway, I really like these. If you notice, a lot of lawn care professionals do use these, and they are very handy and very fast as far as loading your line and save you a lot of frustration. Another thing I like is because I'm not the one in there winding it around and getting it crossed over, because it's all put together on the inside. I'm not taking all the guts out of it. I'm just twisting it. It gives me a nice tight wind inside there, and so when I tap it on the ground, guess what? Line comes out. I'm not just you know, sometimes you get a string trimmer and you tap it on the ground, nothing happens. You beat it on the ground harder and you beat it on the ground harder, and then, you know, we've all probably seen situations like that. So these things feed great, and I really like them, but mostly how quick it is to reload your line. I'm Jason Creel. I appreciate you watching the video. Hope you found it helpful. I'll pop some other videos up on your screen now if you want to watch more. Also, if you think about getting in the lawn care business, go to lawncarelife.com. A lot of resources available for you there. We'll see you guys in the next video.